Hi, it's Friday, August 18th. This morning, taking a walk following Bluestone River downstream here at Pipestem State Park in Summers County, West Virginia. And today we're thinking about all the ups and downs that we go through during the course of our lifetime and how we need God's grace and help to see us through. And no doubt, we all face those ups and downs that we go through in life. Whether it's a new job, or a promotion, or even some struggles that we go through, or even the loss of a loved one. And the title for today's video, Walking Through the Valleys. As we start off in Psalm 23, verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And turning to Colossians 2, verse 6. As ye have therefore received Christ Jesus the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith, as ye have been taught, abounding therein, with thanksgiving. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. And also taking a look at 1 Corinthians 14 and verse 33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. So that's important to remember, how God is not the author of confusion, especially in this confusing world that we're living in today. And as we turn to Proverbs chapter 3, looking at verses 5 through 7. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil. Romans 8 and verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. That's important to remember through life's ups and downs, and especially Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. Taking a look at Lamentations 3, starting in verse 22. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. And that's a peaceful view of Bluestone River, a tributary of New River. Turning to James chapter 3, starting in verse 16. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion, and every evil work. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, then gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. And it's good to see that the clouds are breaking up. Taking a look at James chapter 4 and verses 6 through 10. But he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Be afflicted and mourn, and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. In Isaiah 41, verses 17 and 18, when the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue faileth for thirst, I, the Lord, will hear them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them. I will open rivers and high places and fountains in the midst of the valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water, and the dry land springs of water. And turning to John 4, looking at verses 14 and 15. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water, springing up into everlasting life. The woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Many of you remember the story of the woman at the well. And turning to Jeremiah 17 and verse 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. And now turning to Hebrews 12, starting in verse 1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds. Psalm 104 verse 10, he sendeth the springs into the valleys, which run among the hills. Taking a look at Philippians 4, starting in verse 4. Rejoice in the Lord always. And again I say rejoice. Let your moderation be known unto all men. The Lord is at hand. Be careful for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things, those things which ye have both learned and received, and heard, and seen in me do, and the God of peace shall be with you. But I rejoiced in the Lord greatly, that now at the last your care of me hath flourished again, wherein you were also careful, but ye lacked opportunity. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned, in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. Taking a look at Philippians 4, verse 13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. Philippians 4, verse 19. But my God shall supply all your need, according to his riches and glory, by Christ Jesus. And this is where the series of 9 zip lines ends, on the west side of Bluestone River, near Mountain Creek Lodge, here at Pipestem State Park. This sits on a rocky hillside overlooking Bluestone River. Many of you might remember the starting end of the zip line from the Merciful God is Faithful and Just video that I filmed here last month. This zip line at its highest point is well over 300 feet above Bluestone River, so it's obviously not for the faint at heart, but if you're up for a challenge, it's one of the popular activities here. And this seems like a good point to wrap up this video, walking through the valleys.